As Hope has illustrated, and as I prayed, as we think about this night, waiting is sometimes a very hard thing to do. I think we can all relate to the Christmas Eve concept, can't we? That on Christmas Eve as children, it was the longest night of the year. It was the one night we were quite prepared to go to bed early. And it was the night where we could never, ever go to sleep. I know I couldn't go to sleep because the idea of waiting was awful. I wanted Christmas to be here now. And yet we as Christians are called to be a waiting people. Scripture is full of people who waited. Think of Noah. Noah was told to build an ark, yet he had to wait a very long time. Some say as long as 120 years before the water came. In the meantime, he waited. He was mocked by all of the people, but still he waited. How about the old man Abraham, who was told that he and his barren wife Sarah would have a child? He was 75 years old when he received that news. He was 99 when it came to fruition. 24 years he had to wait, and we all know how poorly perhaps he waited, though we might also excuse him, in the sense that he had a child with his wife's slave Hagar and had Ishmael first. But his wait was 24 years. How about Joseph? Joseph was promised much by the way of dreams that he had. Dreams that said that one day all of his family even would be bowing down to him. Yet, after he had those dreams, he was sold into slavery. He ended up in Pharaoh's prison and had to wait 13 years before God remembered him, as Scripture says, and put him before Pharaoh. How about the children of Israel? God's chosen people who were enslaved by the Egyptians. They were there for around 400 years. They were repressed. They were treated badly. But they had to wait upon the Lord until Moses came along. And then there was the Exodus, wasn't there? For 40 years they traveled through the wilderness, led by a pillar of smoke by day and a pillar of fire by night, as they continued to wait upon the Lord for this promised land. How about David? David was anointed king as he was a young boy, just an adolescent. Yet he had to wait till he was 30 years of age before he became king of Israel. And in the meantime, he had to deal with several attempts on his life, many of them from King Saul. Many others by being put in harm's way as a great and mighty warrior. Then there was the occupation of Israel, the northern and southern kingdoms, by the Assyrians and the Babylonians and the Persians, where the children of Israel were taken from their home and sent to other parts of the world, where they waited and yearned to return to Jerusalem. You see, continually in the Old Testament, we see stories of people that are made to wait by the Lord. And that included waiting for the Messiah. That intertestamental period, again about 400 years, is known as a period of silence where God revealed nothing to his people, they say. And then one night, it was over. And only a few people were really paying attention. Yes, the shepherds did come and see the babe of Bethlehem, but they came through special, very special invitation. It was 3 foreigners, 3 wise men who truly understood what was going on. And they were willing to wait even further as they journeyed. Scripture says up to 2 years. We base that on the fact that Herod said all children 2 years and younger must be killed. So the idea it could have been as long as 2 years that they journeyed till they came to the Christ child, where they could present to him their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so it is that we are called to wait. Just like Noah, Abraham, Joseph, David, the nation of Israel, indeed, the wise men. James chapter 5 says this: "Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. And so it is that we sing, "Come, thou long expected Jesus," as we wait for Christ to return. In 1849, Minister Edmund Hamilton was recovering from a terrible illness. And in it he found what he described as the depths of despair. The world around him, it seemed, had gone mad as the US was recovering from the Mexican War. And slavery was a burning issue in the country that would be a big part of what would ignite the US Civil War. Yet through all of his despair, and through all that was going on in his life, Hamilton had a profound faith in God, and a belief that God has sent his emissary angels to earth with a resounding message of peace. And so it was that Hamilton wrote these words: "It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing." We're going to sing this song, all three verses.